how to lead on your own terms, even when there are competing priorities, even when you're juggling everything that's expected of you. My name's Melissa. I'm an executive coach and a management consultant, and I work with leaders, executives, and managers every day, and I help them make sense of how they want to lead. I help them boost their influence, enhance their communication that actually is creating what it is that they want, how they want to show up, who they want to be as a leader, and help them build self-managed teams so that they can empower people and get their time back to focus on their zone of genius. So today I'm going to be sharing with you some of what I've been seeing, what I've been doing with clients, and joining me today is somebody who is really important to me on my team. And everyone who is on my team is important to me. But Kay,
Yeah.
welcome.
Hi, everyone. For those getting to know me, I'm Kay. I am Melissa's right hand, if I may say so, at In Charge Coaching. I'm the client solutions specialist. And what that means is I connect with leaders every single day and I equip them with resources, with tools to lead with clarity and confidence. Along with that, I also bring all our workshops and masterclass to life, all the public facing learning opportunities. But today, I am here in a different capacity, in a different role. I'm here to share employee perspective and behind the scenes and look at how boundaries feel from the team side. Because I feel like boundaries is not just a leadership buzzword. It shapes the entire experience at work, and when you do it right, it also changes the way you operate in your personal life. So I'm very excited about this topic. Let's dive
Yeah,
in.
awesome. And so let's talk about competing priorities, right? Leadership is not easy. And anyone who is in a position of leadership will tell you it's the whole job plus, plus, plus. It's taking care of people. It's being thrown in many different directions. It's being pulled in all of the directions at the same time. And there's lots of different tensions that you're managing. And there are tensions that we see from business to business being the same, and then there's all of the added things that come from the uniqueness of the organization, the industry, the culture that you're in, and the stakeholders in play. And so some of the things that we see across all of the organizations are things like managing down but also managing up, taking direction and giving direction, but also allowing for autonomy, right? Supporting but not hand holding,
Mhm.
managing but not micromanaging, right? There's a lot of different things at play. We need to nurture a team and take care of people, and we also need to deliver to clients. And sometimes what are expected from our clients and even what's expected from people making decisions is not what's in the best interest of our team. And
Yeah.
then there's change on top of that. Change is, is here. It's here to stay. Change is happening very rapidly in organizations right now. And there's a
Mhm.
lot that's expected of leaders. There's a lot that our employees are expecting of us and the people making decisions. And with
Yeah.
technology, that's really a helping thing. And yet, the faster we can go with technology, the faster we're expected to move. It was hard before, and it is becoming harder to keep up with the demands, with the expectations, and with being a lot of things to a lot of different people. The chaos is not going away. The competing priorities not going away. So today I want to talk about how do you lead in a way that is effective and it is also balanced so that you're not sacrificing yourself while you are in that chaos and managing those competing priorities.
Yeah.
What are things that are coming to mind for you, Kay?
I think you're right because when I see leaders at this day and age today, there are a lot of things that they take care of, and it's not easy at all. Like they're constantly getting pulled into like micromanaging, into the drama, into everything. Their door is always open, and they're like we are walking on eggshells trying to read the energy. So it's difficult now, and it's very important to sort of find a solution and find a way to make this chaos a little less chaotic. So I completely like am with you on that.
Exactly. And we didn't even touch on the strategy and the operations. And what happens a lot is being pulled into the operations on the management side of things when we have a responsibility to be involved in creating that bigger picture and giving direction to employees long term, not just the day to day. So that's
Mhm.
another tension that comes up for leaders. And so there is a lot of chaos. There's a lot of things outside of our control. We are not necessarily controlling decisions that are being made, the priorities that are being set, the demands that are being put on us from everyone. Sometimes we don't even get to control what our role description is, right? There's a
Yeah.
lot of things that are out of our control, but something that is within our control as leaders is how we show up, moment to moment. So there is a choice that we are capable of making every day when we wake up and from moment to moment. And that choice really lies in our boundaries. And these boundaries is what will become our operating system, how we operate as leaders. And so you mentioned that just before the live when you saw this idea of boundaries equaling our operating system. What was coming up for you, Kay, in this?
Yeah, because I used to think like boundaries were just saying no more and often. And but through I think executive edge and like working with you, even I learned along the lines that they're actually about how I want to feel while I work and while I operate in my day-to-day life. Because before I was always available, I would say yes when, even when I was maxed out, I would say yes to people, yes to things, and I would carry out people's stress without even realizing it. So I had no filter, I had no system. So now I'm more thoughtful, and I communicate better. I have created my sort of own rules of engagement and like non-engagement, so that my work and like my personal life support each other and coexist together beautifully. So I feel like boundaries, that term is so spot on. Like it is our leadership operating system, it is our operating system, if I may take it a step ahead and say that,
Yeah.
because it didn't just help me at work, it changed my personal life, it changed my confidence, how I speak up, how I show up, how I delegate, how I ask for help, how much help do I give. So it's a lot more to me than that.
Yeah.
But this description is so beautiful.
And for me, I get really excited about boundaries. And
Me
typically,
too.
when we think of boundaries, we think of things like leaving work at 5 or not checking our emails and things like that. And that can create like a boundary between when you pay attention to what. But boundaries to me is a lot more. And in the coaching that I do day to day, boundaries is something that comes up again and again and again. Because just leaving work at 5 doesn't mean you're going to have the energy to engage in your life and create that work-life balance. It doesn't mean that you are going to feel the way you want to feel and feel satisfied and accomplished by the work that you're doing. That's not going to be enough. And so for me, the boundaries, the way that they're showing up in these coaching conversations is not about the what happens after 5. It's what's happening in between 9 and 5. It's how you're showing up in hard conversations. It's how you're showing up in meetings. It's how you're showing up in the way that you're managing up. It's how you're showing up in the way that you're managing down. It's how you're holding space for your employees to express and to buy in and to take initiative and even be a listening ear to what they're experiencing it without absorbing, without taking on those emotions. It's how you're staying clear and level-headed in the face of challenge, in the face of chaos. It's how you're supporting without hand-holding, without carrying other people.
Yeah.
And you can see it's really about how you're showing up and how you're operating, how you are functioning in your role. What is okay for you and what is not okay for you? What are you willing to do and what are you not willing to do? How are you willing to relate to your employees, to your colleagues, to your higher ups, to the people you're reporting to your upline? And what are you not willing to do? How are you going to stay aligned with your values, with who you are as a leader, your leadership identity? How are you going to stay solid in that? And that is where the boundaries really come into play, to create those bounds so that we can stay stable, so that regardless of what is going on around us, all the things we cannot choose, right? There are a lot of things that are outside of our control. We still get to choose our leadership experience, how we experience our role and our relationships every day. And there's a lot of power in that. There is a ton of power in being able to choose how to lead, how you lead, who you are as a leader. And even though there's a lot of things, because it really feels like that sometimes, that we cannot choose. Yes, there's a lot of things that are outside of your control, and you can still show up with confidence, and you can still have balance, and you can still have energy left over to invest in your life if you are actively choosing your operating system. And you can have all of that, but only if you have boundaries, and only if you have the right boundaries that support you. And that is a very unique thing to you, because everyone has different needs, different wants, and will need something different in order to create that balance. And so the balance is internal. It's not external, it's internal. And those boundaries are internal. And that operating system is internal. And you can have all of that, but only if you have boundaries. Only if those boundaries are clear, they're completely aligned with who you are, and you're feeling confident in them. Only if you are confidently and assertively communicating those boundaries, and only if you are able to respect and maintain respect for these boundaries. So how do you lead on your own terms? These are the things you're going to need. And that's exactly why I'm offering the Boundaries and Balance Masterclass. So this is something completely new that we've just launched this year. And has been a very well attended, lots of
Yeah.
really amazing feedback. And within this masterclass, what I'm going to do with you is I'm going to lead you through getting that clarity, looking at how you're going to communicate this with confidence, with assertiveness, and communicating without guilt.
Very
No
important.
necessary, right?
Yeah.
And it's
Abs-
important to get to a place that you can communicate without any guilt, because that guilt is going to trip you up. I'm gonna show you exactly what to do with that guilt, how to navigate through that,
Wow.
and then how to respect and maintain respect for those boundaries. And as you can tell, this is something that's really important to me. I hope that that passion, that energy is coming through, even though I'm feeling a little bit under the weather today.
It is. It is.
And I'm going to be offering this all in a masterclass on April 22nd at 12 p.m. Eastern, and that is a 2-hour masterclass. So what I'm asking of you is to bound 2 hours of your time to invest in yourself, to invest in your operating system. And that small 2-hour investment is going to pay you back in time, in energy, in clarity, and in respect. Trust and respect within yourself and with others. So what do people need to know, Kay, about this masterclass?
Well, it's free. It's going to be live for 2 hours. It's packed with practical takeaways. You can bring your team along with you for a beautiful and better experience. And I think the previous two masterclass, they were a great hit because of the feedback that we got. There were a lot of great insights. There were a lot of aha moments for the leaders, which was absolutely amazing to watch them like go from not knowing about so much about boundaries to just like knowing so much and being able to operate on that. So I feel like that 2 hours with Melissa is just gold, and it's going to shift how you see leadership and yourself. So yeah, if you're on the fence, don't be. I've been there, I've done that, it works, I've lived it. So yeah.
And we experience it every day as a
Yes,
team.
we do.
And what's really exciting to me is taking this, subject matter, boundaries. Oh, yeah, 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 I know about boundaries. But do
Mm-hmm.
you really? And through my coaching and through all the work that I'm doing with leaders, I keep learning about boundaries. And I have been actively learning and practicing boundaries for the past 10 years. And if there is one thing that every leader needs, is that clarity. And it's a lot more than just a boundary. It is
Mm-hmm.
how we're setting up our operating system. It's how we're setting up our role, how we're relating to other people, how we're protecting our personal energy,
Mm-hmm.
how we work with other people, and how we hold true to the business and the strategy
Yeah.
and the business context that we're in. And so this is a lot more than just a boundary. It is
It
a way
is.
of being.
Absolutely.
What is one thing, Kay, that has come out of for yourself in working with boundaries?
Well, as you talk about boundaries being our operating system, it just reminds me of a time when I didn't have that system running. I used to, like many others, believe in, okay, so I'll shut my laptop at 6. Okay, so I'll no to say no to this person. but then your brain is like continuously going 100 miles an hour. So what actually changed things for me was realizing like it's not just time based and with the help of you, like it's also energy based and expectation based, and what's, like you said, what's mine to carry and what do I want people to know I can't carry. And when that clicks, everything shifts. And feel like boundaries is also like ever evolving and also a lot more work. Once you think you have an idea, then you're like lean into and you think, okay, okay, I don't have any idea. Because when you start setting boundaries, something happens. It feels very uncomfortable for you. For the other person, their reaction may be very uncomfortable, and that makes you uncomfortable. So you start going back to the loop of, old your old patterns. So it's a lot of work and it makes it hard to focus. So the difference between when someone like Melissa sets the tone, it's just the difference is like night and day.
Mhm.
You know what's yours to own, what's okay to bring to her, and what you're trusted to run with. So it creates the calm and clear rhythm at work. So I've learned a lot about boundaries and I'm as passionate about this subject as is Melissa. And we I think we function beautifully with this term and this setting. So yeah, that's what I feel.
And so boundaries is not a wall, but it is a bridge.
Yeah.
It's a bridge that we build with each other to know how to best work with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we all bring that uniqueness of what we need and what boundaries are okay and not okay with us. What are the things and how to work together. And it creates a leader that brings forward boundaries, creates a lot of stability, creates a lot of
Yes.
trust, and it creates a lot of respect.
Yes.
This is your solution. This is the bridge. So, looking forward to diving into that with you on April 22nd. We just opened registration. So, we just started to get registrations in. I think we opened it the end of last week, and we already have lots of people registered, and we're looking to see you.
Yes, we are.
We're looking to see you and to share space with you as we dive into a really important topic that is going to transform your experience and get you more of what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to focus on the right things at work, feeling more balanced, and leaving work with energy to give to yourself, to give to your family, to give to the things that are important in your life. All right.
Absolutely.
See you in a couple of weeks. Enjoy. Bye.
Enjoy. Bye.